Today, let's have a little bit of fun talking about how distortion pedals and really most drive and dirt pedals would sound completely different, really based on, well, of course, what amp you're using, but specifically, even if you have an amp with the normal channel and a brighter channel or a darker channel and a brighter channel, how they completely sound different in those. Now, that sort of seems commonsensical. However, there is a problem with this little thing in the box that when you usually buy a pedal, it shows all the settings and it says, put the knobs here for this type of sound. So I want to kind of show you that it doesn't quite work that way because those sounds can be completely different just simply based on which input in the amp that you're using. So let's check that out. Right now I'm going through the vibrato channel of a noisy deluxe reverb for whatever reason. Sounds like I'm starting to get a bad tube. Here's my clean tone on the brighter channel. Now, a pedal that not too many people use, at least that I could see so far, is the Boss Mega Distortion MD2. It seems to be kind of a sleeper. Not too many people really talk about modifying it. Not too many people really, I don't see it on a whole lot of pedal boards. But it's something fun and something different to check out, so let's try that. Now, if you notice my settings here, the treble or the tone is really kind of backed off quite a bit. So is the bass. I don't have the distortions all the way up just because it's just way too much gain for this. So yeah, I just backed off the gain because it's so noisy with this particular amp. But let's check out what this sounds like whenever we go into the other input. The EQs are the same, set the same. I'm just simply plugging into the input of the amp that's not nearly as bright. As you can see, it's completely different, of course, a lot less high, just a completely different tone. The clean tone on this particular channel sounds like this. So in this particular situation, if I want to get something that's somewhat usable, I'm going to have to adjust the EQ on this pedal. So somewhat a similar type of tone, but still quite a bit different because that tone knob on this particular pedal, it's not just boosting one frequency of highs. It's kind of doing some other stuff with some other frequencies, which kind of shifts the whole EQ of the pedal, all dependent on the amp that you're going into and the EQ of that particular channel. So let's dive down a little bit deeper in this and see what's going on with my favorite tool, the frequency analyzer. All right, let's use a pink noise generator to run through the pedal into the amp and then out into my DAW. Here's what it looks like whenever there's no pedal on. Now we're going into the vibrato channel with the pedal on. You can see the mids are quite a bit different. The highs are quite a bit different. We do expect these changes, of course, but that's really what we're looking at, is what's going on with the frequencies with the pedal on. Now let's go into the normal channel. Pedal's off right now. Let's turn the pedal on. Now remember, we also have the bass and the treble up just a bit, so it's going to be a little bit different here as well. Now let's compare the vibrato channel with the pedal on with the normal channel with the pedal on. Let's compare the vibrato channel with the pedal off with the normal channel with the pedal off. All right, and that's the frequency response using the pink noise generator into the pedal, then into the amp, out of the speaker, back into the DAW. It's just a good way to kind of get an overview of what's going on with frequencies. Let's try a different type of pedal now, the Boss Blues Driver, BD2. So I'm actually going through the vibrato channel, or the brighter channel right now, in the Deluxe Reverb, a clean tone with this guitar, it's my Les Polycaster. It's basically a Gibson scale, pickups, same type of wood, set neck, all that sort of thing. Just looks like a Telecaster because I love Telecasters. Clean tone. Now, if you look at the Blues Driver here, you'll notice I have the tone control way down here. There's a reason for that. Through this brighter channel, here's the sound I'm getting. Now that's through this brighter channel. Let's take a look at what happens through the normal channel with the same settings. It is a lot darker, obviously. So in this situation, we have to change this tone knob. Now, again, I know this seems like common sense, but the amount of emails that I get about where to set a tone control to get a particular type of tone, this video is really, I'm trying to show you that it's impossible for me to answer because there's all kinds of different variables. Even the guitar is a lot more dark than, you know, my normal Whitfield Telecaster that I use. It's just way darker. And it's supposed to be. That's not a bad thing. So in this situation, I have to now take that tone control up. I like to start with the down and take it up to get to a point where I'm now hearing the presence. But due to the type of circuit, that can also start to change mids. You know, depending on what type of tone control it is, it can change bass frequencies and just all kinds of other stuff to give you a completely different tone. But let's go ahead and start with taking this tone control and rolling it up. Now, even though I am rolling that tone control up, you may or may not hear, depending on what you're listening on, the mid content has now kind of changed. There's a little bit more body to it, and it's just not the same thing. It's a little bit different tone. If we take the tone control up even more, it starts to get a little bit too brittle, and it's just a different sound. And you know, sometimes you may want that. In fact, if I'm using my neck pickup, I'm going to add a little bit more treble to it. So I hope this video helped you. Maybe it inspired some ideas of something you can try with your own rig, and maybe you haven't been getting some results that you want, and hopefully this maybe have given you some ideas to try with your own stuff. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to click the little notification bell, and we'll see you next time with a new video.